Hello and welcome to the Coach's Cup podcast. I am Sonya Green from Sonya Green Coaching. And today I have Shanna Pyzer with me. And Shanna, you get the distinction of being the only person that we've had on here twice so far. So I
Wow.
didn't even tell you that when we were pre-gaming, but that's yeah, you
I
are.
am honored.
Shanna is a Christian life and weight loss coach for women, and I'll let her tell you a little bit more about her.
I am Shanna Pyzer of Shanna Pyzer Coaching, and I coach Christian women on changing their lives in whatever way they want and to live big, confident lives with joy and passion.
Yeah. And I didn't even tell everybody what we're going to talk about today, but we're going to talk about dreaming big and acting small.
Yes,
So,
that's what it's about.
yeah, what is it about?
Well, so many of us, I mean, me for sure, and so many women that I talk to, like when you ask, what do you dream of? What dreams do you
Yeah.
have? And we stop dreaming. Growing up, we have all of these amazing dreams of being ballerinas and lawyers and doctors and wives and moms. And we want to do all of these great things. And then life happens and we become whatever profession. We become a wife, we become a mom, we don't, whatever. And we just kind of get caught up in life and we forget to dream. And I think that is, we get stuck. We get stuck in a rut and
Get
we
tired.
don't, we get tired. It's exhausting doing all of these things all the time.
Yeah.
And so we don't kind of we don't take the opportunity to step back and look at the big picture and imagine what's possible. And I want to help women do that.
I love that. I have been thinking a lot about that lately and talking, in my community about that because my daughter has just started chiropractic school and it has made her so nervous, like throw up sick, at the beginning. And I was telling her, this is exactly what you're supposed to be feeling. I know it's not fun, but you're not weird. You're normal. And I was thinking, we get to our, midlife, whatever that is, and we quit having those moments. We just don't push ourselves that way. And so, yeah, when you told me this was the topic you wanted to talk about, I was like, absolutely, because we forget to dream big.
We do. And we kind of, even if I mean, we have those dreams in our heart and we kind of push them down. Other things get in the way and we forget about them. And we need to kind of like do some digging and cultivate those dreams again and imagine what could be possible. I mean, I went back to school. Oh, dear heavens. I graduated when I was 45 with my master's degree to be a school counselor. And I had been dreaming about doing that for like 10 years. And finally, I told myself, I'm either going to do it now or I'm never going to think about it again.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with my husband and he's like, why don't you do it? And I'm like, I think I was kind of waiting for somebody to give me permission.
Absolutely.
And like, and I tell women all the time, like, here's your permission, dream, go after it, do what you want to do.
That. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My husband decided he wanted to be an attorney at 40. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Here we go. And he did that.
That is
And
amazing.
yeah, but you're right. So many times, in fact, I have heard, I'm going to call my mother out. I know she listens, but so many times she has said, I wish I had gone back to college. And I'm like, Mom, you still can.
Yes.
There's always, not always, but every so often you see a story of, this little lady who's 80 some years old and she's getting her college degree. And I'm like, yes, my mother is
Yes.
not 80. Just she'll get on me for that. But it's never too late.
It's not. It's not. No.
So tell me, when you're working with women, how do you move them through these steps and help them to dream big?
Yeah. So I want them to start with a blank piece of paper and think back to when they were that little girl dreaming about being all of those things, and start listing out all of those things that you ever dreamed of doing. And of
Mhm.
course, some of them are going to be irrelevant now, but it kind of gets the juices flowing. And then from there, imagine your life in 5, 10 years. Like, what would be your ultimate dream life? What would that look like? And
Mhm.
then write it all out, describe what it looks like what kind of clothes do you wear? What car do you drive? Where do you live? Like, what do you and your friends do? And just like imagine the whole big, beautiful thing. And then pick one thing that you can work towards. So then you narrow it down. Um, to something that you are like, that I can do that, and that's going to get me closer to that dream life. And then after you pick that one goal, list out everything that you think it could possibly take to reach that goal.
Mhm.
And then I mean, and I'm going by through fast. It's
Yeah,
obvious
well, before you even
process.
get to that, like,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking, even I'm having thoughts to stop me as I'm thinking about it. Oh, well, that would take too long, or that would be too much. And so, do women get stuck there as they're starting to even pick one?
Oh, yeah. Well, and even the dreaming, they
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Oh,
right.
I couldn't say that." And they'll judge themselves for
Mhm.
thinking like, "I couldn't possibly," like, and just like let it all go. Like, what if anything was possible?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then narrowing it down, there's all kinds of um all kinds of roadblocks that we put up for ourselves. And that's, working through like, why couldn't you do this?
Yeah.
And I'm working with a younger woman right now, and she told me, after she was talking about motherhood and her daughter, and um like, motherhood is hard and some people struggle with it.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about the struggles, and then I was like, well, like, what's your dream? And she said her dream was to be a homeschooling mom and enjoy it. And I was like, there's a contradiction. Do you really think that you want to be a homeschool mom
Yeah.
and work really hard to enjoy it? And she's like, well, actually, what I would love is for my husband to stay home and me to support the family. I'm like, let's work on that. Like, let's
So
have
she
that
answered about the
conversation.
homeschooling mom because that's what she thought she should do.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
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 And like, not everybody's cut out to do that. And that's
No,
okay.
absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, giving yourself permission to like allow yourself to want what you want.
Mhm.
And then, like, okay, of course, there's gonna have to be a conversation with the husband to see if, like, does he want to stay home?
Right.
And kind of work out the logistics, but give yourself permission to want what you want and dream about anything being possible
Yeah.
at the first step, to break down some of those barriers. And
Right,
like,
because what if you explore that and that's something he's always wanted too, but he couldn't imagine putting that on you?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Huh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I see a lot of times women who they answer the way they think they should answer culturally, the society's expectations. Like you said, we forget how to dream. So
yes,
so we make a list of all the things we think it will take. This is the act small part, right? We
yeah,
break
yeah,
it down
yeah,
into digestible pieces.
yes.
Then what?
Then pick the 1 to 3 actions that you know that you can commit to doing on a regular basis.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm all about, I have a Facebook community. It's called Start Where You're At. I'm all about being realistic about where you're at right now. How
Yeah.
can you fit these actions into your daily life? Like, you're not going to go from sitting on the couch 8 hours a day to running 5 miles a day. Like, that's just not, it's not realistic. So
Yeah.
what could you do if your goal is to like run a marathon?
Uh-huh.
Could you start by walking 10 minutes a day?
Yeah.
And, and so then you build up on that. And so these 1 to 3 actions would be like minimum baselines. This is what I'm willing to do to start, and then commit to doing those on a regular basis. And that's kind of the basics of dreaming big and acting small.
Yeah.
And then there's all kinds of mind drama that can go on
Oh,
at each
yeah.
one of those steps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even, you know, thinking about that, it really doesn't matter if you ever hit the final dream, does it? That's
No,
not where the magic is, I'm guessing.
no. The magic is becoming the person that dreams. I mean,
Yeah.
really, and that commits to doing something and follows through. Just in doing that, picking those 1 to 3 things that you are going to do on a regular basis and following through on those,
Mhm.
it develops self-trust, which so many of us lack.
Yes.
And just that, just becoming somebody that, when I became somebody that does what I say I'm going to do,
Mhm.
that was like, that's all the transformation I needed. I'm like, I've arrived. I
Yeah.
have arrived.
Well, no, but you're right. I mean, because so many times we are our own worst enemy. We
Oh, yeah.
know we make a plan and knowing in the back of our mind that we're gonna let ourselves off the hook for it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
One of my favorite, I write this down in my journal every single day. I'm an avid planner, journaler, and every day I write some sort of variety of discomfort on purpose creates the life I want.
yes.
And I like those 1 to 3 items that you say you're going to do. At some point, it's going to be time to do that thing, and you're
Mhm.
not going to want to do it. And that making yourself do it is uncomfortable. And that discomfort creates ultimate comfort. And it
Yes.
creates such a feeling of pride and excitement and accomplishment that I like. That is one of my main focuses, discomfort on purpose. Like, I have, like I said, many variations, but it's the key to everything we want.
Oh, I agree completely. And I think, you know, so many times we think there's some kind of magic that the people who are achieving the things, there's some kind of magic to it. And it's not. You really just have to make yourself keep up with the thing you say you're gonna do.
Yes. Yes. And remind yourself, because it's so easy when whatever it is, if it's go for a walk, if it's say no to the cake, if it's, you know, take Amazon off of your phone, whatever it is.
Ooh, that hurts.
Right? Get a little, ooh, in the
I
gut
was
there.
okay till you got to that one.
That we have all of the reasons that we don't want to do it. We can come up with all of the reasons and excuses. And it's
Yes.
so important to remind ourselves, why do I want to do this? Why
Yeah.
do I want to go for that walk? Take
Mhm.
the app off my phone for a month, drink the water, whatever it is that you're working towards.
Yeah.
Why is it important that you do it? And that takes effort.
Yeah.
and it but that's what people that accomplish things do. They focus on
Yes.
why they're doing it,
It's
and
the only
it,
difference.
it really is.
Yeah, and I try to do, you know, when there's something like that, I try to do it if possible earlier in the day. because if I don't, I'm constantly looking forward going, and my mind is thinking of excuses, whether I want it to or not. So
Yes.
I just get up, do it, and mark it off the list, and that builds momentum for the rest of your day too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I used to be a person that said, I can only work out if I do it first thing in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I can't work out first thing in
I
the morning,
remember you used to get up
I
super early,
well,
right?
I get up at 4:30 every morning.
Okay, so you still do that.
I still do, but I don't work out in the mornings anymore because it just whatever. I'm constantly trying to adjust and make things more effective.
Mhm.
But I worked hard to become someone who can come home after work mentally drained and go straight into my closet, change my clothes, and go out for the walk or do the weights or get on the treadmill, whatever I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of self talk to do that because I would do the same thing throughout the day. Like, okay, maybe I won't. Maybe I just won't do it today. And then I would be reminding myself, I am becoming somebody that works out when I say I'm going to work out. So today it's after work. And the other day, I had the most interesting experience in my closet. I came home from work and I was thinking the whole way home, I do not want to work out. I do not want to go for a walk. I'm exhausted. I just want to sit on the couch. And like I noticed those thoughts were going through my mind, but I really didn't pay attention to them. And
Mhm.
I was in my closet changing my clothes, and those thoughts were still going, but it was like there was somebody else in the room talking and I was
Yeah.
completely ignoring that they were there, and I just kept like, this is what I do. And it really is building the habit of doing whatever that is that you say you're going to do,
Yeah.
and it's going to get you closer and closer and closer to that thing you want to achieve, that person you want to be, whatever it is, whether you reach it or not. Moving closer towards it and becoming the person that you want to be
Yeah.
is the ultimate goal.
And you weren't resisting it. And I think so many times that's the difference too. You
Yes.
know, we dig in and we resist it. We resist those thoughts.
Mhm.
Where if you'll just say, "Hey, I see you there,
Yeah,
procrastination. I see you there," whatever it is, and allow them to move on through, then we can have space for both things. I
exactly.
don't want to do it, and I'm going to do it. Both
Yes.
things are true.
Yes. I think that was what was so interesting when I noticed that was I wasn't even arguing back with it anymore.
Yeah,
And that's typically what I do. Like, I don't want to, but I need to, blah, 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 and going back and forth. And this time it was just like a toddler was throwing a fit and I was purposefully ignoring it, going, but we're going to keep going this way.
yeah, yeah. I am old enough to manage you, toddler brain.
That's right. Yes. I will be the mother today.
Yeah, awesome. All
Yes.
right, anything else? Thinking about dreaming big and acting small.
Just do it. Let yourself
Yes,
dream. Let yourself imagine that anything is possible, no limitations. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. And
absolutely.
like let those go. We don't want them. We want the good stuff.
Yeah, and people who try to say, "Well, I'm too old to do that now," or whatever. Listen, you don't know.
No.
And even if you did know, I would rather go out living my dreams,
Yes.
trying working towards something than just sitting in the chair, in the recliner or the rocking chair.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're telling yourself you're too old, then you are creating that feeling of being too old and
Exactly. It's a
keeping yourself
like you
stuck.
said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You keep
Yes.
your limitations, you get to
Yeah.
live with them.
Yeah. And like open up the door just a little bit to what if I could do that? What if
Mhm.
it was possible?
Yeah.
What could I just be willing to try? And
Mhm.
just like open it a crack.
Yeah. And not the things that you think you should try, the
Oh,
things that you really think would be cool to try.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it is going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be discomfort,
And
but
people are
it's
gonna
for
talk.
yeah, oh, for sure. And who
Mhm.
cares? Other people's opinions are none of your business.
Right. Exactly. They get to have their limitations.
Yep. Be uncomfortable and do it anyway.
I love that. All right, Shanna, if they are looking for you for coaching, where will they find you?
I am in all the places at Coach Shanna P at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube,
All the places.
and Pinterest.
All right. I know several coaches who are in Pinterest, so
I
it
don't
seems
do
to
much
work
on
well.
there.
Yeah. All right. And if you're looking for me for coaching, you can find me at sonyagreencoaching.com or on our Facebook page, the Coaches Cup Podcast, where we do lots of fun things. And I would love to hear, after you listen to this episode, I would love for you to tell us what your big dream is. Maybe writing it down, typing it out on Facebook might be the first step to opening that door.
Yes, and
That
then
would be
watch all the
fun.
encouragement you get too.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I love about the community is we want we all want the others to succeed because it pushes us all forward.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Shanna.
Thank
It's good
you
to
so
see you
much.
again.
You too, and I was so honored.
Have to get you a little badge.
Ooh, yes, I'll
Yeah,
put it on my website.
there you go. All right. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.